Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Robin with Stamp with Dr. Robin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in beautiful San Diego, California, where it's actually supposed to be over 70 today. I know that sounds wonderful, but we need rain. We need it to feel like it's winter and we're getting rain and filling our reservoirs and all that good stuff. So hopefully later this week we're getting a little bit of rain, keeping our fingers crossed. But good to see whoever just popped on here. I can't really tell yet. But anyway, I am just enjoying it while I can, right? As long as it's beautiful right now, we'll get to not so beautiful later. Say hi, whoever popped. Oh, it's Roz. Hi, Roz. I don't know if you can tell, but see, Facebook did another funky thing today. When I came on, and see how humongous my head looks? I'm actually sitting so far back I can't even touch my phone just to get a look that doesn't look like I had just a giant talking head. So I'll sit back here as long as I can. And the other thing, they used to have a little button that I could push that would make it so you could read what the words and letters say, and they took it away a couple weeks ago, and apparently they have no intention of bringing it back. So my choice is either you don't ever get to see me at all because I have to jerry-rig my camera completely opposite so that you can read everything, which is what I did last week. And this week I'm trying it the other way, which is, I'm sorry, all the words are going to be backwards, but at least I get to say hi at the beginning. So I'll ask you guys at the end which you like better. Anyway, so as far as Stampin' Up! News goes, there's a whole bunch of stuff that is starting tonight at midnight Mountain Time. So for those of us in the Pacific Standard Time, that's 11 p.m. if you want to hop on Stampin' Up! Right as soon as they get it open. But there's going to be some new celebration freebies released. They haven't told us at all what they are. I don't know if they're brand new product. Sometimes what they've done is released brand new product, and sometimes what they've done is actually brought product over from the annual catalog that we can suddenly get for free. So either way, free is free, and I love it. This is in February is usually when I go through like all my paper. Do I have enough envelopes to last for a while? Paper. I just realized I don't have ink refills for the in color. So those are the kind of things that I know I would be getting, but might as well attach it to some free items. So you guys might want to do that too. There's also at least 2 new kits starting tomorrow, as well as they're going to update the last chance list. So the update could mean some of the stuff on the last chance list gets prices slashed. It could be they could add stuff to the last chance list, either from older catalogs or from the one that just ended, because they really left a lot of, stuff orderable from that, what was that, September to December catalog. So I'm expecting some more of those are going to go on the last chance list. And if you're a demonstrator, there's some, starting at midnight Mountain Time, online exclusive pre-orders. So there's going to be pre-orders that we can get as demonstrators right now, or starting tomorrow. And then things that you all can get who aren't demonstrators in next month in March. Is it Facebook or StreamYard? Ross says, I don't do StreamYard. All those things are, cost money, and I'm not really making any money, much money doing this. So, but Peggy, knowing my upline, uses one of those kind of programs, and she says she hasn't noticed a difference in when she is doing her lives on Facebook. Hey Doris, good to see you. So I think it's Facebook, and actually this time when I was getting ready to go live, a little pop-up came in and said, hey, this button doesn't exist anymore and don't expect it to come back. Of course, first time I did that a couple weeks ago, I thought it was me, but no, it's truly Facebook. For all of you who are local in San Diego, I'm supposed to be teaching a Valentine's class this Thursday at 10 o'clock at our Oasis in Rancho Bernardo, and I only have a couple of people sign up, so it's at high risk of being canceled today or tomorrow. So please go online and do that if you want to make some Valentine cards. And then I'll talk more about this upcoming class. I have it on February 23rd, or you can get it mailed to you if you want, using Floral Delights. Don't forget that everything we're doing today I will put on my blog later tonight or later today, which is stampwithdrrobin.blogspot.com, so that you can, you know, see measurements, etc. And I also upload to YouTube after I'm done, if you want to look at that. So this is the card I thought I was going to be making. See how all the writing's backwards? I can no longer fix that. Anyway, using a whole bunch of celebration things, and it was a cute little easel card. But guess what? This really cute punch is now in back order, so I don't like to use things in my lives that are on, you know, unorderable. But I'm just telling you this because this punch goes with 2 different stamp sets, and you may want to order those when they get back in. This Hugs for Love, has some Valentine-y things and non-Valentine-y things, like the one on the card I just showed you, sending you a big hug. Anyway, that's the one it actually goes with, and then the other one is just kind of a separate one you can order. Okay, so, well, so much for that. So what we're going to be doing is some stuff with our Delightful Wishes bundle, and that is, it's got a 5-page spread in the celebration, in the mini catalog, but the main things are on page 34, 35 if you want to kind of follow along. Okay, so I am going to, all right, now you're going to see my head get bigger for a sec so I can actually reach this. Put this down. Everything is like so much bigger and closer too, so I'm hoping this is gonna work. Okay, so this is our Delightful Wishes set. Let me see if I can pull it back up just a little bit more so it doesn't look so big. And it includes the stamp set and the dies. The stamp set has some this is multi-step stamping, and the dies have some cool dies that, some that obviously cut out things that you're stamping, and this one that can go around all the words. Let me read you the words because now you can't see them, but it has a big wishing. And then the separate ones, wishing you were here, wishing you all the best, wishing you a happy birthday, wishing you lots of love, wishing you well. So can kind of go with all of those. And so those things after wishing can fit in there. And then it has some standalone dies that you can put together, like 2-part leaf things. It has this really cool die down here that just puts holes in things, and a cool little branch. I'll show you how those work. Oh, and this 2-part wishing dies. So you can, and then we're going to do this today, stamp and cut out, or you can use the wishing and put these both together to get that. And then this is like a 3-parter for that flower, and a 3-parter for that flower, and then a 2-parter. These two make that flower. Am I freezing on you? There we go. And a 2-parter on that one. And then the branch. And remember I said this one down here. Isn't that cool? I think that's really cool. All right. And then get that out of the way. Beautiful 2 sets of different papers that go with it. This is the Floral Delight paper, and we have all these just beautiful florals. Isn't that pretty? These make me smile. They're so pretty. And then the backs are a little bit more simple, lovely. This one has turned out to be a really cool one to work with too, but just lovely kind of neutrals basically. And then there's a whole set of vellum. In the vellum pack, you get 2 of each of the 3 of these. This one is just kind of white. I find it easier to work with these on a white background, personally, because then they just show up better. Let me find just a white piece of paper to show you. So I think they just are stunning when you put them like that. Here's the second one. It just kind of pops more. This is probably my favorite one. But aren't those pretty? Okay, so I am going to show you the card that we're going to make, and then you all remind me if I forget to show you the other cards that I've made, because this card for sure that we're going to make today is going to be in the class on February 23rd, or by mail if you want to get it by mail. And so this looks like a really cute little, you know, bookbinder card, and I think it's really cute just like it is right now. Again, this is a Facebook thing, guys. I know the word wishing is backwards. I can't do anything about it. So we're just gonna work with it. Anyway, so the coolest part about this is not that it's just a bookbinding card, but look at this. So I've always been kind of afraid of these open kind of cards. And then I saw someone, I wish I remember who it was, so I could give her credit, and just showed how easy it was to make this. And I went, oh my God, that's so easy. Anybody can do this. So we are going to do that today. So let's start with getting the bookbinder part ready. So this is a 4 1/4 by 11-inch piece of Daffodil Delight, had to think for a second, cardstock. And it is scored at 4 1/4 and 5 1/2. So first we're just gonna fold it in half on the 5 1/2 one. And then that was the one that was at 4 1/4, and that part is what's gonna go back like that. So we'll get those scored well. And then the next thing we're gonna do is we can decorate our front, I guess. Oh, yeah, just a nice pile of stuff here. And let me find my paper. We'll just get kind of all the way up to the part where we need to start actually stamping stuff and do it inside. So we'll do the whole kind of front first. So remember, we're opening this way. I'm gonna have to remember that, because I realized when I cut this piece, some of these pieces are more like non-directional than others. So this is a 4 by 4 piece, and fits perfectly on that part of the card. And then you'll notice, or hopefully you notice the back. That's the back of the same one right there. And that's just a 1-inch strip there, but we're gonna use the back side. Fitting right in there. And it's already, you know, just going to be a pretty card like this. And I love the fact that when you open it up, you get a little surprise. So this is the little 1/8 inch ribbon, the Daffodil Delight ribbon that comes with this suite. Whoops. I think today I'm not using, I think I'm using everything but that vellum. And then I'm just trying to make sure that it's going to lay down here smoothly. And then we're going to tie it. Now with this little ribbon here, I have found that it likes to move around quite a bit. So I found the easiest thing to do is to actually make a knot whenever I'm going to tie a bow in it, because then I have time to work with it. Because otherwise I've found it a little bit slippery. Okay, and that looks kind of in the middle there. Maybe we'll pull that a little bit. You can see how I pull it really tight and then it keeps trying to loosen up. So decided I'm tending to leave these a little on the longer side so that if it does come undone, it's not so hard to put it back together. And then everybody has their way that they like to close up this bookbinder part because it needs to be shut, you know, right here. I like to use tear and tape. I find that's the strongest stuff when I want to, you know, make a 3D item, or I want to keep, just for this thing, I want to keep it closed. And I know I used to have a lot of problem pulling up the tear and tape, and then I found that if I really push it, you know, into the cardstock really well, I can tend to pull this up a whole lot easier. And then I got my little sandwich like that. Push it down really good. And now it tends to stay closed. The glue will work, you just have to hold it for a while, but I also found occasionally the glue would kind of undo a lot later. Thank you, Roz, for sharing this. Okay, so what should we do next? I would like to do the inside part. This is the coolest part of here, I think. So this is the part that's going to be our pop-up part on the inside. So this is a 6x6 piece of designer series paper, which is wonderful when your, you know, paper is actually 6x6. You don't have to cut it at all. And you want one that's kind of not directional. It's just too hard to do it with directional, and you want one that's going to coordinate on both sides. So for instance, I wouldn't want to use this one because it, to me, is a little kind of plain on that side, but I suppose you could. You want to start, this is really important, start with your paper face up on the part that you're going to want that is going to be showing more on the inside. And the first thing you're going to do is fold it in half one way. And I tried to figure out if it was better to actually score this, you know, and then fold it. And you know what? It wasn't any better. It wasn't any easier. So it was just, since you're just folding a square in half and you've got straight lines going on, it's just as easy to do it this way. But you definitely want to make sure everything's even and burnish everything. Okay, so you did both of those folds this way and this way with the part up that's going to be the inside. Now, important, turn it over and fold it on a diagonal. Okay, again, I'm just trying to make sure everything's lining up well. And burnish that. Now, here's the shocking part that this works, to me anyway. You just open it up, fold it, and it all comes together. Is that not amazing? I mean, like, I really didn't do anything. I just kind of held it until it starts folding itself into this little square. It's so cool. So when you want to try to figure this out, go back and slow down that part and watch it again, because that's what I did. I just went and got the closest piece of 6x6 that I could of paper, any paper, and it really does work. And then it fits right perfectly right in there. Okay, so you can't even see it when it's closed. So then what you want to do is attach it. on the inside. All the points should work evenly. Move it, whoops, just a little bit over. Okay, and then you want to put your adhesive on this side and then just close it up. Okay, and then I'll show you how it opens. I kind of want it to sit for a little bit, but it does open perfectly. So we're gonna put this to the side. I'm actually gonna put a couple of blocks on top of it while we work on the rest. So that's just gonna be off to the side, just so it'll stay and, you know, hold it down there. Okay, so next part is just a little bit of stamping. So we have a few things that we're going to be stamping. I'm just going to get them all out. Okay, so actually this doesn't need stamping at all. This is just going to go behind our wishing that we're going to stamp on there. So let's do that in the old olive. And this is a piece of lemon lolly. Those are the two main color, the yellows in this suite, which is the lemon lolly and the daffodil delight. If you have a glass mat, this is easy to do on the glass mat without having to have something underneath it. If you don't have a glass mat, make sure that you are using your piercing mat underneath here. And then this is going to be what's inside. I'll show you the one that's all done. The important thing on this is you can either make it 2 3/4. I decided to make it 2 7/8 since this is pretty much the only place you're going to be able to write on here. Yeah, just remember it's on a diagonal inside there, so you want to put your words on the diagonal. So the front's going to say wishing, and then the inside sentiment is going to say you a happy birthday. You never have too many birthday cards, right? I'm going to put it just up as much as I can here, since, like I said, that's all you're going to be able to write. Okay, and then what I decided, let's close that up. What I decided to do was take a little bit of the Daffodil Delight, and then I'm going to take this pretty flower. Remember, a lot of these are kind of two-step flowers. So this is the one that's, you know, not the background one of the little one. And over to the side here, I'm just stamping it once on just a piece of scratch paper, so it'll come out really light right here. I don't know if you can even see that. Hopefully you can see that little flower back there. When I put it together, I decided it kind of looked just a little plain without something there. Okay, so now we need to cut out this wishing. And let me get my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I am going to get the words that say wishing, the big one. Okay, so it's cutting out the whole thing. And with these little, it's a little bent, with cutting out these words, you just want to make sure you can see it through all these different little holes. They give you lots of chances to make sure that you've got it in there correctly. So it actually cuts out easier than I expected it to, honestly. Oops. Let me move this and I'll show you. All right, so there's our wishing. We're going to have it on here. So let's bring this back. So if you guys want to go get a 6x6 piece of paper, I can cut another one and show you how to do this little inside thing, since that's obviously the big trick here on getting that. All right, so let's put our, like I said, I made it 2 7/8, but you can make it 2 3/4 if you want a bigger margin. Put that inside. I'm going to push it all the way up into the corner there. Oops, that's not even. There we go. And then we're just going to put that down there. I'm going to use some dimensionals. Oh, this is funny. This is an old one that I didn't use. I just grabbed something that was in my pile there. This is that this hexagon punch. I love this punch, you guys. It is really a lot of fun to use. And then, is that even? No, not really. Kind of use the sides to see if it's straight. And then I am just going to put a little bit of glue on the back here. I'm not going all the way out on all of the words here because it actually, you can see it doesn't, actually it kind of hangs over a little bit. Is that sort of straight? Yeah. And then, oh, where is my, well, I want to put one of our little bees. Oh, I forgot to show you that that's part of the whole collection here that goes with this suite. These bees are teeny, you guys. They are probably, I don't know if you've been around a while, we had bees before. These are probably like 1/3 the size of them, so they will be a little bit easier to mail. And normally I use a glue dot behind here, but I'm not seeing my glue dots, maybe because I went to a class this week. But you can put them on with a kind of a rolled up glue dot. They're actually bigger than a glue dot, you guys. So I just kind of roll up a glue dot and put that down. But since I'm not, maybe it's because it's such a mess in my desk right now, but I'm not seeing a glue dot. Little glue will hold that too. So that is our card. You guys want me to show you one more time how to do, let me go just grab a piece of 6x6 other paper somewhere. I want to show you one more time how to do this. The easiest paper I found was some Christmas paper. All right, so this is just 6x6. Okay, so if you have some 6x6 paper, just grab one to use as your guide for doing this again. So you're gonna fold it, and I'm putting this on the inside. This is my inside one. Fold it in half one way. Burnish. Make sure you have good creases. You know, got to have that side facing up that you're going to want on the inside. Fold it in half the other way. Okay, both of those folds were with this side up that you're going to want on the inside. Then you're going to turn it over and fold it on the diagonal. There we go. Okay, on the diagonal. Just one diagonal, not both. Turn it back over and watch the magic. And then you got your little square. Pretty cool, huh? And now, isn't that going to be a cool little inside to some little fold. Now that's going to make me make another card for 2025 holiday season. All right, so there's the one that we made today, and I promised you I'd show you some other ones. Now some of these will be ones that we're using for my class on February 23rd, and some won't. I haven't decided yet. For this one, this is all stamping, okay? For this one, what I did is I just put a piece of paper across here, and I stamped over it, around it, etc. Pulled it up, and just stamped the wishing. So this is, you know, just a one-piece set going on here. This one, I used those cool little things I said, just punch out some holes in one of the tags. I used that beautiful vellum. This one I used a whole bunch of the dies to make all those little flowers. I was just practicing using different colors, seeing how it looked. If you look real carefully down here, this is actually the word die, but I just used it with some colored, some of the designer series paper. This one see how many different stamps there are? There's 1, 2 just to do the flowers, there's 1 to do the leaves, and 1 to do the branch. So this is basically a 4-step process to get those flowers. And, you know, 2 different designer series papers. And then the last one, remember I said the backs have been really cool to play with. This back of one of the papers. So these are all different ones. Like I said, I'm not sure which 4 we're going to be doing for class, but I think this is just going to be a really beautiful class to use. You know, cards however you want. You can make them all birthday cards, really, or you could make them, you know, wishing you well could be for almost anything. So let me put you up for a second, and then you get to see my big head again, because like I said, it's really, really close. So anyways, good to see all of you, and go ahead and give it a try using any paper and a bookbinding card base, and I think this just makes some really spectacular card here with that fun fold. All right, I'll see you next week at 1 o'clock Pacific time, and have a great day, everybody. Bye.